My name is Tanya Fyfe, and before I was a writer, I'm a professional figure skater, and I've always wanted to write, and in between actually getting my books out, I also became a veterinarian. So all these experiences in my life have led to a lot of creative ideas that allowed me to create some fun stories, and currently we're really promoting one of my favorite, well, my third book in my series, which is Secrets Abound in Missing Lake. And it's the third book in the series, but it's a two-time award winner this year. It won 2 Distinguished Favorite Awards. And the book is a lot of fun, and it stands on its own. You can read this book without having read the first 2 books. The main character is a 16-year-old high school student from the town of Missing Lake, which is a fictional town based on the town of Seeley Lake, Montana, where I currently live at this time. I was born and raised in British Columbia. We moved to Montana we moved to the United States about 20 years ago. So after moving to the United States, it actually was 25 years ago, we started in North Dakota, and now I live in Seeley Lake, Montana. We still keep our ties with Canada, and the book, the main character does as well. The young boy is based with his parents in Montana. But his mother still lives in Vancouver, so there are still some Canadian ties, which is really exciting for me, and I'm really happy to work with Maple Leaf Publications because of that fact, because I'm still really proud of being Canadian as well. The first book in the series is Lost and Found in Missing Lake. You'll notice the cover art is very different from the second and the third books, because the first book, when I self-published a few years ago, I used just a stock art. That was one of the options available. After that, for my second and third book, I asked a good friend, his name is Ben Brick. He is a graphic artist, and these were the first cover books that he's ever done. So the second book is The Dragons of Missing Lake, and Ben was just very happy and excited to help out with all the art, and he's done a fantastic job. So again, the second and third books are very, very different cover-wise, but they are still the same series. I call it the Missing Lake series. My inspiration for the series was, I actually closed my veterinary practice in Seeley Lake a few years ago, and at that time I just started a house call practice, and I was a little bit down about closing my veterinary practice itself, largely because of the population. We have a population of about 2,000 people in Seeley Lake, and it's not quite enough to sustain a full-time veterinarian. The house call practice is rewarding though. But I asked myself before I began writing the book, what would inspire me to maybe open a clinic again? And I jokingly thought to myself, if somebody brought me their pet dragon, I'd go for it. And that's what led to the series in this book. And the books are written in real time. They are current in life, and again, the third one just wraps everything together. The fourth book is in process right now. All the books they could end on their own, but they also end in a way that leads to another story, and the third book definitely ended that way, and I have so much encouragement from my fan base and friends that want that fourth book. So the fourth book is on its way, hopefully this winter when I'm snowed in Seeley Lake, Montana, and all I can do is plow myself out in the mornings. I'll write during the day and plow at night. So in the winters in Montana, where I live in particular, we get an incredible amount of snow, which comes up in these series because Luke, my main character, who's 15 when we start the series, he's 16 by the time the third book rolls around, him and his father raise sled dogs, and with the sled dogs, it's a sport that I really wanted to highlight, because I don't think a lot of people really understand what goes into raising sled dogs. I certainly did not. I know what goes into taking care of them medically as a veterinarian, but having known many mushers who lived in Seeley Lake, when we first lived there, 5 of my clients competed at the Iditarod sled dog race. So through that, I learned very much through them about their care of their pets, and it's not a main focus of the book, although it's a main focus of my character, because they raise, I think by the end of the third book, I think they've got about close to 30 dogs now, him and his dad, and they go on the sled and they train and they ride, and it's a real passion that I'm trying to show in a positive way for sled dogs, because again, it's a sport that's not really well known. I don't think it gets a ton of great media coverage, and I really wanted to highlight that in a positive way through my book. So the snow in Seeley Lake brings the mushers. It brought my characters to Missing Lake, Montana, and that's where the mountains of Montana, where these mysterious dragons still live. And I'd like to think in a fun way that maybe there are some in those tall mountains of Montana. Maybe there are some dragons hiding out there still. That's So I'm excited to work with Maple Leaf Publications. They have been really great about getting us authors up into word in the street. They've been very, very supportive. Dealing with them has just been great communication and lots of fun as well. We've all been laughing too. Being able to be present with a team like this in Lethbridge, Alberta, where I have many friends and family who are here from the high school world, from my veterinary world. It's just been a wonderful experience. And the main thing about my books is that they're for anyone. A child can read them. I recommend 10 years and up. My main character, again, starts his age at 15, but one of my biggest fan bases are middle-aged and older readers. My husband, who's one of my biggest fans, he's a physician, and all his partners have read the books and can't wait for book 4 to come out, and I can't wait to share it with you. Hopefully next year's Word on the Street will be marketing book 4 for you guys. I'm already 8 chapters in, so once the snow starts flying and I get off the golf course, then I'll get that book 4 going for you.